Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good Sunday morning, girls and boys. This is your faithful host, Lamar Wilson. So happy to be back with you guys. I'll be checking in. This is just like a check in. It's been about, I want to say 3 months since I put my last video out. Had a couple people asking, well, when are you going to put your next video out? And, I really don't do it till I see fit. This isn't a thing for me where it's about me. It's about God's message. And he definitely guides me. His voice is authentic. I know how to hear God's voice. So I'll be touching on just a little bit of that. I want to touch on some monthly events. Last time I talked to you guys, my last video was actually about Brian Flores. The Miami coach who got fired. I didn't even know. Lo and behold, I didn't guess that the Steelers would hire him, but I didn't even think he would get another job. But it's so funny that my team, I was talking about the great Pittsburgh Steelers, who they implemented the Rooney Rule and they got that black man hired. And it's not all about black people. It's about equality. It's about minorities. It's about all people in a minority role. So it's just not about black people. But anyway, I'm glad that my Pittsburgh Steelers went ahead and grabbed him up. The video before that, I put a video about my vision I had about the end times. And it's funny that in that vision, I talked, now this is 3 months ago. In the vision, I talked about, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's definitely anointed. It's definitely a true vision from God. It's the future. In that video, though, I talked about how China and or Asia with Russia is going to take over America. God showed me that. And I put the video out. It's marked, 3-4 months? I think that's maybe even 5 months ago. 3 to 5 months ago, I put it out. I'm not sure. But the war that just happened now, you can see how it's setting up. I don't know if anybody can see how Russia's turning into the bully of the world. America used to be the bully of the world. We used to be the superpower. And I talked about how we're losing power. Now we're letting Russia get away with murder. Literally, I remember us taking over a whole country, Iraq, in a couple weeks? Destroyed them because they thought they had weapons of mass destruction. We know for a fact Putin has weapons, Russia has them, the weapons of mass destruction, and we do nothing about it. Kind of funny to me. But anyway, kind of funny I put that out, and I didn't know they was going to invade Ukraine like that, But this is the setup. This is definitely the setup. It's going to happen. America's going to lose its power eventually. It will happen. So I just wanted to touch on that. I got some names I want to name out because, again, there's people that's really been blessing me, and I think it's pretty cool to go ahead and give a shout out to people who leave a message. I know when I leave messages to people whose videos I like, it's always encouraging to me when they at least get back with a message, let alone, shoot me out on one of their videos. So, with no further ado, now, again, butcher names from the city of Pittsburgh. We don't have a lot of culture, diversity, so I'm not used to reading foreign names, or if it's not an English name, I have issues. Please don't laugh at me. Shinori, thank you for your comment. Now, these people, again, either left a beautiful message or they subscribed to me and or both. So, Shinori, appreciate you. Babel's Truth, Rambo, John Park, Shaquita Perez, Victor Moore, Trina Sanders, Michael Ernest 666. I get those too. Appreciate it. He actually has something nice to say. Adina Gatlin, Carbina, Latrician Spence, New York Girly Girl, TK Voice of Grace, Tay Peter McFarland. Oh man, he's always commenting. I appreciate you, man. You always leave me, you subscribe, and you always leave me a great message. Sophia CG, Shamira Johnson, Karen Guerrero, OK Bomber NYC, Rhonda Allemanden. Sorry about that. RB wasn't that good. He was talking about weed and I don't even know what he was talking about. Teresa Davis, Kevin Clint, Rosa, Child of God, John Magee, Maria Malero. I think she lent me one before. I Have Thoughts. Really do have thoughts. Always leave me kind thoughts. I appreciate you. Katie, Soul of Solomon, I'm sorry. KC, my man KC, I appreciate you. Uh, Sean R, Ross the Boss, Gary here, what's that? Grace Danielson, Matthew Yost, James Smith, uh, Serafina, The Truth, or something of that sort. Um, Janie D, Bella Lewis, Alex Davis, Summer Dotson, Kelly Gelso, Lavin Carter, Eddie Webb, Sean Briggs, John Smith, Worship Child, April A, my girl April A. Ain't leave me nothing in a while. What's going on, April? Norman, I can't even pronounce your last name, ZHU. I don't know how to say that. The Way, the Truth, and the Life, CC. And I'm leaving people out, but I won't name everybody because I'll be here forever. But I really appreciate you guys. I really and truly appreciate you guys. So I definitely want to touch on a couple different things. So number one, though, one thing I've been noticing, and I just want to touch on this real quick. So we have these, social media, I feel like is really just destroying the fabric of any Christian way. It could be good. You can consider YouTube, social media, and it can be good. There's some good things going on Facebook. But for the most part, we got stuff like reality shows tearing us apart because women are easily, and listen, when I speak about women, I'm not saying every woman. Every woman is not like this. There's some men that I'm not going to touch on the man right now. I want to touch on a woman because I'm worried about just the fabric of womanhood in America now. It's gotten bad between, again, the social media, the reality shows, and even worse than anything, the dating apps. Now, I fell victim to these dating apps because I'm divorced. I get lonely sometimes, and I like women. Wouldn't mind, finding one that I could cherish again. So I've delved into them myself. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. But I'm noticing on these websites and on these dating apps that, you got these really thirsty men. I'm gonna just put it like that. And we got women who, let's face it, at a scale of 1 to 10, and beauty's not everything. It's only skin deep, right? But we got women that really aren't even attractive. Some heavy, some that don't even take care of themselves, their posture, keeping themselves in shape. And you got these men giving these women all this attention, and they're running around, they're blowing their heads up, and they're putting them in a reality that's not even real. They think that they deserve a top tier type guy, somebody making 6 figures, in shape, over 6 foot. Like, this is the ideal man for a woman, but it's like, what is the woman bringing to the table half the time? So I'm not trying to jump on all women. I'm not saying all women are like this. But I just wanted to touch on that and just throw that out there. Please be careful. And if you're one of these desperate men, listen, work on yourself. Get in the gym. You know what I mean? Get in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Feed your brain, feed your muscles. And, you know what I'm saying? Better yourself that way. And you'll find women just drawn to you because you're comfortable with who you are. I really think it's really devastating our society. You can't even approach a girl. I try to approach a girl and say hi. It's like, if you're not doing it on social media or through the internet digitally, then they don't even want to holler at you in real life. They're not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And half the time, all I'm saying is just hi. I wake up in a good mood. I like to spread my love towards people. How you doing today, pretty lady? And it's automatically, oh, well, what? I don't understand this. I really think we should just abolish all dating apps. Like, what happened to meeting somebody at the grocery store and passing them your number? That's where it's at, man. You do it in real life. Half the time on these apps, men are getting with women that they don't even want. A lot of these women do on them dating apps, they just want validation. They want your validation. They want to play around with you. They're not going to be serious with you, fellas. Like, just let it go and wait on that good girl like I'm doing. So I just wanted to touch on that. There's a couple things. Like I said, this is just a check-in. And I'm diving into a lot of things that happened. Will Smith, My man Will Smith done lost his mind. Now I've been knew Will Smith lost his mind for real, for real. I used to love him on what was it? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was a real Philly boy. I'm from Pennsylvania. He's a real Pennsylvanian, real manly, strong, masculine. This is the Keystone State. This is a rough state. You see what I'm saying? And slowly but surely, after these movies, he did that one gay movie. He was gay in one movie and all. And once they start doing, they love doing that to black actors, by the way. Putting them in, mama's house and all this, putting them in women's clothing and all this, he started losing it. I seen it. Then when I seen his kids, and I love Will Smith to death. First of all, I still got love for Will Smith and I'm praying for him, so I don't want to be negative. But just look at his family. Look at his daughter. Like, his daughter looked like a boy and his son looked like a girl to me. Something's not right there. Him, Tom Cruise, another one. I used to love Tom Cruise back in the day. And now you could just look at their spirit. It's just, they're not there. Wickedness took over. So he tore off and smacked my man Chris Rock over a joke. Now everybody knows about this. I just want to dive in and touch on some things. Like everybody's talking about, his wife, you know what I'm saying? She went ahead and had her little round table. And I never even seen about this round table. I never knew about it. Jada's little round table. I never knew about it. So I looked it up on the internet. I watched it for like 1 minute. I seen that Will was actually on there really going through the motions with her. She's got him so wrapped around her finger, it's ridiculous. Will, you are a top tier guy. Good looking, in shape, rich, intelligent, talented. How dare you take this from this woman? I never did too many. I'm sorry, I'm not big on the light skinned ladies, because their ego's too big. And at the time, when I was in the world, their sex wasn't that good. I'm not in the world like that no more, but their sex wasn't even on that good. You know what I'm saying? They sit there like a stiff board and expect you to do everything. And I'm not, to each his own, but I just don't understand. I'm worried about Will, y'all. We got to pray for Will. Something's not quite right with that to me. And then he tear off and smack him over saying that. It wasn't really that funny of a joke, and it was insensitive, but that's crazy. What is the world coming to? To me, it looked like it was fake, though, for real. I feel like it was fake. So that's that. Moving on, progressing into other stuff. Again, this is just a checkup video. It's been a while. I will be putting out other videos. I will be putting out videos about the LGBTQ. I keep talking about it. I'm going to do it because that's destroying the world. Touch on that a little bit. We need masculine men, first of all. And what's going on, I feel like, in society now, and it started way back in the 90s, the women's movement. And please don't get me wrong. Again, I love my mother. I have a sister. I have an ex-wife who I still love. I have nieces and nephews. I love women. I don't want to come off as this chauvinistic man who just has something out for women. But right after affirmative action, they pushed, these women's rights. And they know that if you give women all the power, that our society's going to deteriorate. They took the men from the house, back when they first started giving out, assistance, food stamps. They literally would force the man out of the house. You can't get help if you had a man in the house. And this was way back in the early, 60s? But it's still going on now. People, what's going on. Women know, men know. You talk to a girl who got, she's on assisted living or something. You're not supposed to have a man living with you. They're purposely trying to get rid of the masculinity in this country. All these men are soft, really soft, wearing suits and on TV and showing their emotions. And don't get me wrong, I cry. I've cried on this video. I cry. I'm a very emotive. And people say sensitive. I could be very sensitive. And to me, I feel like there's nothing wrong with a man showing his sensitivity. But when there's no masculine behind it, when there's no testosterone backed by it, logical thinking, you're just out here basically, you're openly gay, just feminine. Our young folk need masculine men. That's what's wrong with this country. So again, I just wanted to come out, put a video out. I'll be putting out a lot more videos. I won't go without go like 3 or 4 months. Again, this was just a check-in. Wanted to give shout outs to people. I really enjoy y'all. I want to make sure that, see, for me, I want people to understand God's voice, and I'm gonna leave it with this. My channel is for people, like, it's a bridge gap to God. Like, it's a ministry. I know that I'm in a position in my life where I'm not doing exactly all I should. So God brings people to my life, and I'm like a bridge to God. Like, whereas you go to a pastor, it's a direct, which I do feel like I'll be winning souls for God. But right now, I'm getting people's attention because I come from the streets, you know, and I live street life. I've been down, I've been what's the word, backsliding for months now. And I'm open about that, but yet I'm still trying to portray God's word. But I'm being transparent, and that's what people see and people like it. So I'm gonna just leave out with this quick story on how I knew that God had a plan for me, or like it was just weird how like things were just going on, and it started to scare me how I just knew things. I just knew things. So really quick, I got a good friend who she helps me out. I help her out. If I need something, I can ask her. She's an older white lady. I call her Red. She's taking care of our biracial kids, and I help her out. She's white, and you know, you just got to raise black kids differently than any other kids. It's the truth. So I help her out. He cuts up. He comes in my apartment. I give him the business. I get on him hard, and he cleans his act up. Because there's really no other. He don't even know his dad. Never met his dad. Anyhow, over the pandemic, we hung out a lot, seen each other a lot. She would take me to the store, run me around, do different things for me. One time we was going past her house, and she lives on this she lives right next door to a fire department, but the street kind of gets a little more narrow. Now we was driving past her house, and I just so happened to mention to her, something told me to tell her. I'm like, Red, because she always parks like where she's at the intersection, and it's like a garbage can, and she's right there off of the street. So that's where she parks, right in front of her house. So I was telling her, Red, you might not want to park there because it just seems like the road, God showed me how the road just narrows in. And I'm just like, you probably don't want to, you probably don't want to do that no more, right? So like 2 days, I don't know, I think maybe a day go past, 2 days go past, and she's the type where she turns her phone off at 9 o'clock at night and you can't get to her, until the next morning. So she called me up 2 days later, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was up. I'm a night owl. I was up. And I was surprised. I thought something was terribly wrong. And she called me and she said, Lamar, what is wrong with you? Did you curse me or are you psychic or something? I said, what are you talking about? What's going on? Like, it's 4 in the morning. Why are you calling me? And she like, my car's totaled. Somebody hit my car, right? And I really wasn't that shocked because, again, I get thoughts, and this is why I'm explaining to people, because people probably get this too, and they feel like they're psychic or psychics. That's from the devil. Like that's energy from the devil. I had a girl who was talking to me. She said she's a Christian psychic. I'm like, you can't be. There's no such thing. But anyway, I wasn't that shocked about it. God showed me it. I seen it, right? So, she got a new car from it. She get a rental. Now, a couple days after that, we were out and about again. And we wasn't by her house. We were closer to, like, I live up the street from her, but we were like not too far from the highway coming up to my house. And it was just like Randy Road. And again, I got a feeling. I got something told me to tell her this. I said, Red, I told her something's going to happen. You're going to be okay, but something's going to happen to you. And that's all I knew. I just knew something was going to happen, and I knew she was going to be okay, right? Lie to you not. The next day, she calls me because she frequents these spots. She's always running around doing some shop. She's a busybody. She's an old lady, but she just don't want to stay still. Always doing a million things. I do 1 or 2 things in a day. My days off. She does like a million. You know how women get. Really organized, all that other stuff. Anyhow, so she's doing her runs. The next day, around like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, she calls me up. And she's like, Lamora, what? You're starting to scare me. She's like, Lamora, you won't believe what happened. I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, right where we were at yesterday when you said something's going to happen, don't worry, you're going to be okay. She said a deer jumped out, because we got a lot of deer. We live about a lot of woods, a little woodsy area, a lot of mountains. We live on a mountain, Mount Oliver and Carrot. Anyhow, she said a deer jumped out into the road right in front of her. She swerved, almost totaled the rental car, right? But everything was okay. Now, when she told me that, that scared me. Because I'm like, why am I? And this is before I put out my channel, but God was slowly showing me that, like, I got an inner connection. Like, I know how to hear His voice, and I feel like a lot of people can too. I don't feel like there's nothing special about me. I just pay close attention, and I really have faith, and I believe in it. So I just wanted to put that story out there. There's people who God's trying to talk to you. God's trying to grow you, because that grew me. Once I realized my power that I had, that's what, amongst a lot of other things, got me to start this channel up. Because there's a lot of things that I know. There's a lot of things only through God. I give all the glory to God. But there's a lot of warnings, and there's a lot of camaraderie that I can give to people, and a lot of hope and faith. We're about to go through perilous times, man. That H1N1, all that stuff, it's coming back, man. It's going to be worse. This was just a setup. So I'm going to get into all these things. I just wanted to check up on YouTube, my YouTube family. Sorry if I missed some people. I could pick it back up and name a couple, like another 100 people. Thanks for the subscriptions. Man, thanks for the words of encouragement. Man, leave comments, y'all. You know, spread my good word. And in Jesus' name I pray, man. Thank y'all.